Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk some gaming news, what we've been playing, a fun mystery topic, and then something we're looking forward to in the future. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and I'm joined by my lovely descriptive host who goes off on these eloquent journeys with all of us describing me, and I cannot do that. It's TJ at Turn-Based TJ. TJ, how are you, sir?
I am doing it fantastic. We have both seen Project Hail Mary, so I'm in high spirits.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Well, everybody, I went through the rigmarole of what this show is. But remember, if you like what you hear, drop a follow, leave a comment of a future topic for the show, and we'll definitely get to it at the next episode or beyond. And share it with people who also might like it. Helps us out. Appreciate you. But let's get out of the rigmarole, get out of the fluff. Let's jump into the news. TJ, what do you got for news for us this week?
Oh, all the fun stuff.
Couldn't be worse than
Firstly,
last week.
yeah, a game that I can't stop talking about in our news section apparently is No Man's Sky. Newest update has been released. And it added Xeno Arenas, a monster battling feature inspired by the mechanics of games like Pokemon. Hello Games founder and managing director Sean Murray cited the similarity to other monster catching games, stating that the development team consists of huge fans of Pokemon, Pal World, and pet battling in World of Warcraft. That should give players an idea of what to expect from the Xeno Arena, where they'll be able to use their creature companions to fight in battles. There will be 8 types of Pokemon. There will be 8 types, like Pokemon types, and the update increases the number of creature companions you can have from 18 to 30. Battles take place via hologram arenas scattered throughout the cosmos. So you're not actually fighting the creatures against each other. You're fighting holograms of the creatures.
Okay.
You like scan them, I suppose, to get their hologram. But that is really cool because there's already a lot to do in No Man's Sky. You can build ships and you can build bases and you can catalog everything and you can go from planet to planet, procedurally generated, unlimited amount of fucking planets. And now you can also, all the life forms on the planets you can capture and then battle with them. And that's just really cool because it can be like, oh, I found this alien on this planet that nobody's even discovered before, and it's like specific to me, and I can fight other players with it. Like that's cool to me. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Star Wars like hollow chess type thing. I don't know why that popped in my head, but yeah, sounds cool.
That's exactly what it reminds me of. You better let Chewie win.
Yep.
Um, Unsubstantiated rumors are that there's a new Luigi's Mansion game and a new Star Fox game currently in development for the Nintendo Switch 2. We were just talking about Star Fox being on the Switch 2, so that's pretty exciting. And the Luigi's Mansion game, in this leak that I was reading, or this rumor, the rumor was centered around a Luigi's Mansion movie. And the comment was like, we'd prefer a Luigi's Mansion game at this point. Luigi's Mansion 4, where are you? And the leaker was like, or the rumor person was like, well, they're developing one at Nintendo, so maybe that's true.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised because those games, while incredible, they're only like 8-hour games. You know what I mean? They're like 8 to 10 hour games. So like you could crank one out pretty quickly if you wanted to bolster the library of the Switch 2, which it desperately needs at the moment, even though it is crushing it with like Bocopia and the sales are good and stuff. I feel like the library needs to be a little bit more robust. So a Luigi's Mansion game would be great. Same thing with Star Fox. Star Fox is not, it's not like you're making Breath of the Wild or something where it's going to take like forever to make, or a Metroid Prime. These are games that you can make pretty quickly, relatively, comparatively. No, I'm not saying these games are easy to make, but
Sure.
yeah, there's just the content isn't as large.
Sure. I guess it depends also on what they're trying to do. Like, are they trying to take it in a different direction, like Zelda, where you go the Breath of the Wild route? So you go more of an open space Star Fox, or do you keep it rail shooter?
Oh gosh.
Or go the GameCube route where it's that hybrid? But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, there's literally no information on what the Star Fox game could even be or what it's like, but I would love a game where you play as Wolf. I'm just saying. I think that would be cool. Let me fly around in Wolf ship. It's a cool ship. I like the what is it? The Arc, is that what they're called? I don't remember. Maybe I'm just thinking of
Arkwing?
Arc Raiders, but Arcwing. That's
Oh, it
it.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Arcwing is very cool, but I like the I've always liked Wolf's ship
Mm.
with like the X in the back. Still up the
Oh, is
X.
his not
Uh,
called the Arcwing?
no, his is like a
Oh,
different
okay.
ship. It's like a
Sorry. It's
different
R
shape.
Wing.
Yeah.
AR Wing is the
R
Star
Wing.
Fox Wing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just playing Arc Raiders, so I think that's on the brain.
Gotcha.
Speaking of, I'm actually going to jump to a different news piece
Yeah.
because it's related to this. Speaking of the Nintendo Switch 2, Elden Ring is coming to the Switch 2.
Oh.
Woo! For $80.
What? Is it like a game of the year shit?
Yeah, it's coming with the DLC.
Okay, fine.
It does include the DLC, but
Alright.
also it's a game key card.
Okay.
So for
Which
$80,
isn't
you
on
get
there.
a game key card,
Okay. That's
which
not
is
on
the
the...
download thing.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the cartridge. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to download it. And Elden Ring is it's not like the biggest download. I think on my PC it's like 70 gigs with the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But still, on the Switch 2's limited space, that's pretty big.
Sure.
I don't know if they've condensed it down with the Nintendo port or not, but $80. Come on, man. This game came out in 2000 and what? 21?
Yeah.
22?
I mean, like I said, it's the Game of the Year edition. You're getting everything. So I give it a little bit of leeway there. And also, it's Nintendo. They're going to charge $60 for games that are much, much older than that.
Yeah, I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way because I was excited that Elden Ring was coming to the Switch 2. If I had a Switch 2, Elden Ring would be an immediate purchase because I
Would it?
want portable Switch 2 Elden Ring. I know I could do that with the Steam Deck, but what were you saying? Sorry.
I'm joking. I said, would it? You've already put 100+ hours into it on PC. Do you really need to do it
100?
again?
According to my Steam page, is 815.6
Okay,
hours.
I was only a little off.
Yeah, but if I get it on the Switch, that means I don't have to delete a character to make a new character.
Okay, I'm gonna be devil's advocate today. Hey TJ, how many times do you talk about your Switch games that you play on this podcast? Oh, right, we always talk about your PC games. I'm one to talk.
Yeah. As I look at my Metroid Prime 4 collecting dust over there, I haven't even gotten to the motorcycle section. We're not going to talk about it.
There's no music. You don't
It's
need.
been
You're not
4
missing
months.
anything.
Yeah. But I would, if I had to switch to, that would be,
Sure.
I would buy Elden Ring and I would buy Cyberpunk 2077, even though I've played both of those games to death. Starting fresh saves is just always fun in those two games. But it's a bummer that's $80. That makes me not want to get a Switch 2 because I want to buy Elden Ring, but I don't want to spend $580 to play it.
Sure.
Let alone Mario Kart World, which would be like a day one purchase for me on the Switch 2 as well. So now we're looking at
get it bundled.
$640. Yeah. And then Pokopia, which we're not going to talk about.
Tamagotchi Life, you're all about that. Mario Fever,
Oh my
tennis,
gosh.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, Tamagotchi Life is that's not a game, that's a lifestyle.
Well,
That's,
then stop your bitching.
Speaking of PC and how I'm playing on PC, I better get used to the PC that I have right now because a new report suggests that CPU components are also likely to go up once again in the coming months, marking the third price increase in 2026 for CPUs. RAM's going up, CPUs are going up. I'm just gonna buy a motherboard and a hard drive and just try and make something work somehow. Like, I don't know what else to do at this point. I'm just gonna have to hold on to my PC. Luckily, I feel like outside of Borderlands 4, which gave my PC a little bit of run for its money, games seem to be plateauing as far as pushing specs and power. I know I could obviously, there's a lot of games that I play where I could, if I had a more powerful PC, I could get more power out of those games. I could make them look even better. But as far as being able to play them on medium or minimum specs, I feel like games are plateauing a little bit. So maybe I'm going to be able to hold on to my PC for a little bit longer than expected, you know? Maybe I can make it another year or two. Please don't make me spend another $1,000. So we'll see. But yeah, that's just a bummer that CPU prices are going up. Can't believe that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Is that also, do you know if it's also data center related or is it some other cause?
I did not read that far in the article,
that's
to be honest with you. I don't know if they said that or not. So
No, all good. Because it's been in passing, but it feels like we keep talking about this AI bubble bursting. Seems like they canceled a lot of the data centers they were planning on building. So hopefully, at least on the RAM side of things kind of level back out or calm down again. But it's another time will tell, as we talked about, I think last week, where if did pop, it will take a while for those effects to kind of come into play and take effect type thing. So that could be a similar aspect or avenue.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm.
There was a shadow drop that just happened, and it's Borderlands Mobile. Borderlands Mobile had a shadow drop. Yeah, Borderlands Mobile, and it launched with 7 game modes, but only 1 Vault Hunter currently playable. They are going to release more Vault Hunters, but
For
there's only 1 at the moment. Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know that I want a Borderlands Mobile game, but it exists.
Yeah.
Like I talk about on here, good for the people who can only game on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a small contingent of people,
No.
especially in other countries and stuff. There's a lot of people who specifically use their phones for gaming. So
Yep.
that's pretty cool. That they get to experience the Borderlands universe in all of its glory and agony. Amazon Luna notifies subscribers that effective April 10th, which is today, the streaming service would no longer allow its users to purchase individual games or third-party subscriptions on an a la carte basis. However, this does not mean that Amazon Luna is being discontinued altogether, as Amazon is instead doubling down on game night and other experiences for users to peruse. Have you used Amazon Luna? Does this come as a shock or a disappointment to you?
I have not used it. No, I remember seeing a lot of ads recently, or at least in the past couple months, of the like Snoop Dogg trivia and all that jazz. And but no, I've never touched it. I didn't plan on using it. Okay, it's like, I guess I'll have to keep an eye on it if it's just a pivot or yeah, this is the sign of things to come. But I don't know. I feel like Amazon's in a weird spot. Also, like Twitch is in a weird spot because Amazon owns Twitch. So it's like,
Right.
Ooh, how's the gaming strength going? I don't know. At least from people smarter than me, or at least keeping their head to the ground. Sometimes I'm like hearing scary stuff about Twitch, or I'm like, ooh, this is not good. Maybe this is gonna go away. So the Luna stuff kind of is following that, but who knows? It could just be a pivot.
Yeah, I think it's just a pivot. And I think outside of Twitch, I feel like Amazon was just like for the Luna project was just looking at the games industry. And again, we were just talking about Project Hail Mary as the podcast opened, but video games make more money than movies and music put together. So I think Amazon is looking at that and just being like, why don't we start a video game?
Yeah, like a lot of
Make
companies, yeah.
Yeah, make $1 billion. Why don't we do that? Why don't we make Fortnite 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Right.
And it never works like that when you try and make games from this executive standpoint. So I think that's kind of what Amazon Lunar Project was. So I'm not that surprised that it kind of went away because I don't think they really had they didn't put their full chest into that one. I don't feel like.
Sure.
Something that is getting its full chest put into, though, is the Level 5 Craftsmanship live stream and new trailer on April 10th. That segue didn't work. On April 10th, 2026, provided new information on the highly anticipated Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, revealing new features, story details, voice cast members, and perhaps most interestingly, that it will be a simultaneous worldwide not just on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch, but on PlayStation 5 and Steam. I bring this up because have you ever played a Professor Layton game?
No, I've seen the character and heard decent things, or at least his name put out there, but no, I haven't played any of them. Yeah.
Oh man, it's so delightful. It is a warm hug in a video game form. This is coming from a gamer who does not like puzzle games at all, and it is a puzzle game. But it is such a good puzzle game that like it kind of sucks me in with the artwork and the world and everything. I really feel like you would gel with the Professor Layton world, and now you can try it out because it's coming to PS5 simultaneous release.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy about that, the simultaneous release. I don't mean to shit on anybody's cornflakes or any negative things there. I did see something about this on Blue Sky, and I'm trying to find it quick. It was about the creator, and he was telling people like something about AI, and he's like, "Oh, stop judging it so much." And I was just like, "Oh, that's a bummer."
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. But if he's not working on the project anymore and he's out of there, maybe cool.
Which is surprising to hear from him if this is true, and this is coming from the like the lead developer, lead designer, whatever,
Yeah.
the creative director. Because the original Professor Layton games, the reason that I like them so much is because of the handcrafted feel. Like it really feels handcrafted and really attention to detail paid to like every little corner in those games.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So I found the person on Blue Sky. They linked an old article from December 26, 2025. It's from Zach Swisen. I'm sorry, I don't know what website. But yeah, the title, Professor Layton Boss wants people to stop demonizing generative AI. So Level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino has shared further thoughts on AI after a past interview of his went viral. So yeah.
Yeah. And he specifically defended generative AI, which is the one that's like, in my opinion, indefensible.
Yeah. So
okay, well,
sorry.
yeah. Maybe don't be excited for Professor Layton in the New World of Steam then, but maybe try one of the older games that doesn't use AI at all. Maybe get yourself a 3DS because you could play like 6 of them.
Or get it secondhand. I think that's a nice balance, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's all I had for news this week. What about you, Mr. Enigma 9011? What'd you have for news?
Sorry to make that last piece a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, I was like, I really wanted to talk to you about Professor Layton because I thought you would like that series, and then you just shot my balloon right down.
Hey, oops. Well, let me make you laugh then. Let me make you laugh because we like laughing here. Hey, TJ, I hear you like tennis games or are really stoked about some Mario Tennis Fever.
Yes.
Well, have you heard about the newest and greatest tennis game that's coming out this May and to a console or peripheral of your choosing that you own?
Is it Virtua Tennis?
No, it's Nicktoons Extreme Tennis that drops on May 28th.
What?
Yeah.
This can't be a real game.
It is.
Extreme. I thought they got done with the Nickelodeon AI slop games.
No,
okay,
no.
It's not AI slop, but Nickelodeon slop games.
Yeah. No, but they're still pumping those things out.
Oh, yep. There's Aang, or as M. Night Shyamalan would say, Ong,
Yep.
with a tennis racket in his hand, shooting against Garfield, and a Ninja Turtle.
Yep. So
is it bad that I would try this game?
Hey, no. Love what you love. Play what you want to play. Who gives a shit? Yeah, it looks good. I just saw it in passing and I was like, this will be fun to bring up. So yeah, wide variety of characters, as you mentioned, Aang and Garfield. We got SpongeBob. We got Michelangelo. I can talk. Danny Phantom. Susie from Rugrats. Helga Pataki. Cat Dog. Timmy Turner and more. So yeah. Steam says May 27th, even earlier.
Oh, it's on Steam?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. It's on multiple platforms, including PC, which you own.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say because of the Switch, but Danny Phantom.
I was helping you out because you don't have the Switch 2, and you're like, I can't play FIFA or Mario. Well, here you go. You can play this one on PC. And others.
Oh my gosh, this is I think you just made my night.
Yes, glad to hear it.
This is incredible. Did you ever play that Nickelodeon fighting game?
Oh, Brawl. No, it wasn't Brawl, but it was like Smash Bros. Yeah.
God, I forget what it was called.
I'm blanking on it, but yeah, I got the first one.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
It was Brawl. Okay. Yeah, I got the first one. It was decent. I had a good time with it. And then I was kind of tempted to get the second one, but I didn't because the first one was kind of
The first one's mid. Yeah, it's a very mid game.
Yeah.
But it's very fun, especially if you like melee, because I think you can wave dash in it and stuff.
Sure.
And I remember using the little All Real Monsters girl. I forget her name, but she's like the long stripe one.
Yep.
With the mouth, and she could wave dash for days.
Yep. Yeah, I don't remember her name, but yeah, they were decent. Like, not broken or anything, but Nothing to
They
write
were
home
some of
about.
the better. I would rather play that than PlayStation All Stars.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's not be shitting on PlayStation All-Stars. All-Stars was fantastic. Was it a little weird and different? Yes. But come on. Did you even play it?
Yeah, I played it a lot because
Oh,
I had a
okay, fine,
PS
fair
Vita
enough.
at the time, and I
Oh,
would
Vita.
sync it
Okay.
from my Vita to my PlayStation 3
Yeah.
that I had.
All right.
And I just didn't like you can't knock people out of the ring.
You
You have
had
to
to use
use
the
your
finisher
supers.
to beat people. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say my whole point of bringing this up, just besides my love of Super Smash Bros. And
Sure.
Super Smash Bros. Style games, is that yeah, sometimes these spin-off games from Nickelodeon, not bad. It
No.
wasn't terrible.
No.
So maybe this tennis game will be pretty good. It's kind of hard to fuck up a tennis game. I'm just gonna be honest. So we'll see. It could be a lot of fun. I'm sorry we spent so much time on Nickelodeon tennis, but it's important to me.
I'm glad it paid off.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that I really enjoy, Blueprints, as of today's recording, is celebrating their 1 year of launch of the game, which, oh man, time flies. And in doing so, they released some new music, an extended full band version of History Suspended from the OST. So just wanted to share that, and any chance I get to talk about Blueprints is a good day. So yeah, 1 year. Congrats to them. All right. Well, that was the quicker news. Let's get on to the more in-depth news, starting with a bummer news. Let's see. This is coming from PC Gamer, from Jeremy Laird. Valve rumored to be working on SteamGPT AI bot for support and anti-cheat functions. Is there nothing sacred? Are all things destined to be consumed by AI slop? Apparently so. For now, even Valve is turning it to the artificial side with reports of references to SteamGPT appearing in the company's source code. The end verily is nigh, no doubt courtesy of life imitating Valve's murderously passive-aggressive Portal game art. In all seriousness, fair to say Valve has Hithero? Is that how you say that word?
Hithero?
Yeah. Wow, this guy's using fancy words. Been one of the least AI-adjacent tech outfits since the whole LLM Transformer chatbot video generation agentic overlord, Jesus Christ, thing really took off in the last few years. So this would be at least something of a pivot. First up, X poster at Gabe Follower spotted references to SteamGPT in various Steam-related code. There are multiple entries that appear to be related to a wide range of tasks, from task queues and code testing to account management and security. There are also references related to Valve's trust systems, including reportedly trust scores, account age, account buckets, related accounts, confidence values, and interference results. In short, there's an anti-cheat angle here too. And then the article goes on a little bit more. So yeah, TJ, what do you think about that?
Is it crazy that I'm not mad at it? I don't hate it actually, because it's not generative AI, which I think generative AI is generally indefensible. But I think AI for using for anti-cheat, but also for it sounds like it's for like customer service type stuff.
Yep.
Which, although annoying, because I would just like to speak to a representative.
Yep.
You know what I mean? When you get to that point, I feel like AI can help with a lot of stuff, like like game returns. Like you could see, for example, Steam has a policy where if you've played a game for less than 2 hours, you can get a refund, no questions asked.
Right.
So, AI would be really good at evaluating that. They can just see, okay, you've played it for less than 2 hours, automatically refund it. You don't have to have a person on that back end.
Yep.
So, because right now you have to submit it for approval and then wait like a couple days, even though you're going to get it's going to pass. So it could do it like immediately with AI, which would be great. So there's a lot of ways that could be implemented that I think would be good for Steam. It's a little annoying, but I don't think it's as like bad as people would think, honestly, on the nose of it.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with the anti-cheat thing. The customer service, I'm still a little bit iffy on. And I think that's, like you said, just dealing with the AI help that some companies already have, and knowing my personal frustrations of something doesn't get fixed, you get caught in a loop. By the time you do talk to somebody already, you are instigated, you're pissed, you're mad, I don't think that helps anybody. Don't get me wrong, customer service agents like get a lot of shit that they don't need, like a
Right.
lot of service workers and stuff like that. So to rile me up before said conversation, I'm like, you're not doing these people any favors. So I don't know. I'm still a little bit iffy on that. But yeah, like you said, it's not the generative AI stuff. So that's the small nugget of hope and goodness. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see how they actually implement it because it seems like this article is kind of scattershot on like they could use it for this, and this, but we'll have to see what they actually do.
Yeah. All right. Next article or next news piece is coming from gamesindustry.biz and Alex Forbes Calvin. Independent game publisher Indie.io is launching a subscription service called Indie Pass, in which will offer access to a revolving catalog of indie games for $6.99 a month. The platform is set to go live on April 13th, which will be the day this podcast launches, and will launch with around 70 titles, many of which are from the company's existing stable of games, such as Echoes of the Plum Grove and Dark Deity series. But the firm is working to sign up games from other developers who will earn from a revenue share based on player engagement. The pitch to potential participants, says Director of Growth Jess Mitchell, is increased discovery for featured titles and a way to drive revenue from their back catalog. For users, it's a curated service of distinctly indie titles that changes each month and a way to discover titles they might not have otherwise heard of, or maybe didn't have a chance to see them spike and then disappear from a storefront. Care of a recommendation system that tracks their engagement. The platform is an outgrowth of Indie.io's work running both and publishing. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. The platform is an outgrowth of Indie.io's work running both a publishing label, a catalog of over 200 games across multiple platforms, with PC as its home base, and community platforms, wiki.gg, for which Mitchell claims an audience of 10 million monthly active users. Quote, "We take making developers successful very seriously," end quote, Mitchell tells GameIndustry.biz. And so, quote as well, rather than just sticking to traditional publishing, we try to reinvest in solutions and ways to help our developers gain additional exposure. So yeah, this sounds interesting. One note on the revenue sharing, how this is going to go. The platform will pay developers on a revenue sharing basis based on how much time each user spends playing their game. So yeah, I mean, this sounds like an interesting idea, and another, like, an easy way to, like it says, get more eyes on the games and the products and just help those independent developers. I think it's cool that they're also going to get paid based on playtime, like an interest level there. So that's pretty cool. My only concern is if this is like a Game Pass for Xbox type situation. Whoops, was I kicking
Right,
anything?
which that's exactly where my mind went to.
Where that is, as far as I've heard, that's like a flat rate of like, okay, your game's going to be on Game Pass, here's a sum. They don't keep getting stuff, at least on Microsoft's end, of revenue afterwards. This would with the playtime mechanic. But then also Game Pass has been, at least it seems like it's been struggling for a little bit, or it hasn't been able to keep up the longevity that Xbox and Microsoft are kind of hoping for, as we've seen Microsoft and Xbox's downturn lately in the games industry. So yeah, the longevity of this, granted it's launching, would just be a concern potentially.
Yeah, I could see both sides of the coin. I could see the from the financial standpoint where it could be ruinous. I'm not smart enough to know how subscription-based models actually pay out and stuff. Like I'm always wondering, like, how the fuck is Netflix worth $1 billion when people are only paying like $11 a month and there's only so many people, and it's like you can do the math and it's not that much money.
Keeps
And
going up.
it just keeps going up. Yeah, it's like what is going on here? So I'm not understanding it. So I don't really understand how the subscription model is going to work on the back end for the money part. But I will say that I think it's great for discoverability, like they were saying, for other games and stuff. You really highlight games. And a good thing about Game Pass and also this game is this service would be that an indie game would be available for a set amount of time, I imagine, not like forever. So people who are subscribed to this service could then play that game, and then maybe it's like incredible and they can get the word of mouth out and people are like, oh my God, you gotta check out this game, and more people check it out and it catches on fire, and I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Very easily. So I think it's great for that aspect.
Sure.
Just being able to discover games and like not just discover games, but like blow games up based off of their gameplay. Maybe there's a weird like isometric tennis game or something. Just saying, that gets out there like indie game, and then it's like it doesn't look good, but when you play it, it's like, oh, it feels really good to play,
Sure.
and then people can try it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that I could see working very well.
Yeah, and the article will continue to go on to say that like creators can jump in and jump out at any point. So they're not locked down to a contract of like, you need to have this here for a certain like 2 years or whatever it is, to my knowledge. I'm also wondering, this would be more on the development side, but like if there's a clause of like exclusivity, that would be a concern of like, no, you can't have your game on Steam if you're with us. Like I know some things do have that exclusive time for Game Pass. It's like, hey, you're here, at least for a time, you can't go anywhere else. So that'd be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely very interesting. I'm glad you thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's cool. I might actually check that out.
Speaking of independence, you might have missed this. The III initiative for April 6th. What the fuck day was it? I have 26 written down for some reason. No, it was literally Thursday. It was yesterday. Oh boy. The 9th. III initiative aired a big showcase on the 9th, revealing a fuck ton of independent titles, new, old, world premieres, as everybody likes to do the voice, world premiere, and all that fun stuff. So I highly recommend everybody go check that out. I had some highlights that I did want to cover here, so these will be all very, very quick. We had one called Lost Railway, which is a very cute pixel co-op horror game where you're collecting resources and trying to avoid dying from the evil space monsters. Super Battle Golf, which has been taking over the content creation game, is coming to consoles this summer, so looking forward to that. Hopefully there is a cross-play involved as well. If you like fighting games and rhythm games, I highly recommend you check out a game called Dead as Disco, as it comes to early access on May 5th. You are literally fighting to the beat of a song. Think Sifu, but more music-based. The game promoted that it'll also have streamer-safe music, so you don't have to worry about, not NDA. What's the fucking thing?
DMCA.
Thank you. DMCA music and that. And you can also apparently import your own tracks and music to the game. So it looks amazing. Cool. TJ, this one's for you. A huge one. Introducing Warhammer Survivors. Take Vampire Survivors and Warhammer 40k characters and they had a baby. Bam.
Oh my God.
Yep. No release date.
What enemies are you fighting? What classes can you play? I need to know all these answers.
All of the enemies, at least that they showed, were the orc type enemies.
Okay.
And then there was a various amount of characters. Am I going to be able to say them by name? No. But you had big blue armor guy from Space Marine 2. You had a Death Knight looking guy with like gray and black armor. You had some priests looking folks without armor. Yeah. I didn't see a release date, or at least they didn't write it down. So go check that out.
Was there any ladies? Did you see any ladies with guns?
Nuns with guns? I did, but I don't remember.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Cool.
So very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Valor Mortis, for you Souls-like fans, was a Revolutionary War like time period Souls-like, but with fantasy elements. Seemed interesting. Brotato fans, we got more DLC as the Primal Dread, aka Dinosaur DLC, was announced. If you guys are into farming simulators, a similar one, Graveyard Keeper, which was a huge game I've heard about, is getting a sequel. So Graveyard Keeper 2 coming down the pipeline. I talked about Clover Pit last week. Clover Pit is getting DLC that I believe dropped the day of, so it is already out.
Cool.
A very funny one, kind of looked like Peak, but is called Too Deep to Quit. It is a Muppet-like treasure hunter Indiana Jones co-op game that you can play. Looked very fun. And then the last one I'll give a shout out, which was a huge one for me, just because I love the original of this game and have played it from time to time over the years. But the next Don't Starve game, called Don't Starve Elsewhere, was revealed. Getting an update in graphics, still the 2D style, but the worlds are bigger and have a three-dimensional feel to them and looked amazing. So keep an eye out on that, as that was announced there for a TBA release. So yeah, AAA Initiative, everybody. I think it was like 65 back-to-back trailers and updates on things. And then they also had a few games which had like more in-depth coverage after the actual showcase. So highly recommend everybody goes check that out. Once again, AAA Initiative over on YouTube. All right, so that's going to wrap up the news for this week. So let's jump into what we've been playing. TJ, what have you been playing this past week?
Sorry, I'm currently on the Warhammer Survivors Steam page looking at it. Let me just add this to my wish list and come back to that.
Yeah.
That looks incredible though. It even has the gems and everything. They really went all out. I've been playing a game. It might surprise you that I've been playing this game. It's called Arc Raiders.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of this game. It's a small one, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, a little indie game, little 2D graphics. Man, I've really been enjoying playing more Arc Raiders. I think I'm 8 hours into it now, but last time I talked, I'm 8.5 hours into it now. But last time we talked, I was 105 minutes into it or something like that. So I've had a lot more time into it, and I'm really enjoying the game a lot. I think the crafting in the game is so incredible. I'm like addicted to the crafting the same way that I was when I was playing Far Cry 6. Where, like I actually want to get crafting materials and stuff. And you can craft ammunition and stuff, which is really helpful in other games. Marathon. You can't craft ammo, so they're like, all right, here's 15 bullets in a stick, go have fun. And then you really have to try and scrounge for ammo and find anything. But in Arc Raiders, they're like, no, you can always have ammo for your guns, that's fine. It's just we're gonna throw so much shit at you that your guns aren't gonna be helpful, but it's okay. Speaking of which, I've come across more arcs, which are the like the drone-like things. There's like a spider one. Carolina, it is full spring, so the pollen is ridiculous outside right now. There's even a pollen meter on the news, so you know it's bad. Yeah, my car is caked in yellow. Anyway, back to Arc Raiders, where there is no pollen. Thankfully, I've encountered some spider-like ones. I encountered a new arc today called the Shredder. I encountered it while I was playing with Mike actually, and we were like, "What is this thing?" And then we found out it was the Shredder, and boy, is that aptly named. It like shoots shrapnel out of itself, and it just will shred you. It just like goes through your shields immediately. But I found one called a Bastion, which is like it's like a crab-like tank. It's massive. It's like super hard to take down, and when it looks at you, you just die because it has this machine gun. It just fucking goes. And so I was playing a game, I was solo queuing, and I saw another team fighting this thing, and I was like, those mad lads. And I was on the top of a building, and I was like, fuck it, I got a long rifle. So I just started taking pot shots at the thing, and it was actually helping them because then it would draw its attention and start shooting at me, and I would duck behind cover, and then they would shoot at it, and it would start shooting at them, and then I would pop up and I would shoot it, and then a third guy pops up, and we all start doing the same thing. We all start taking turns shooting it and then ducking in cover, and after like literally 10 minutes of game time, we killed this thing, and it was incredible. I got the achievement for it. I was so happy. And luckily, they know it's like a big raid-like boss because when it dies, it actually breaks into multiple components. So there's not just like one loot thing that you go to get. So it's not like one person can go and loot it and just take all the shit. There's like multiple things you can loot off of it. So I just looted like one of his legs to get some stuff, and then I was like, okay, I'm good for me, and then I walked away. Nobody shot each other either. Everybody was friendly. I've been using the don't shoot button quite a lot. Although I did encounter some players today that killed me, but it is okay. It happens every once in a while. There's proximity chat in the game, which is really cool. So you can talk to other players, like either other randos. You just have to hold LB and like push down on the controller. And then like earlier today, someone took a pot shot at me. They're like, "Are you friendly?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm so friendly." They held the thing down, and it actually worked. They didn't end up shooting me, so that was cool. But yeah, just really enjoying all the different systems in it. It's cool. There's so much depth to the game because like you're leveling up, you're crafting, you're also doing stuff with the traders. There's like separate currency with separate traders and stuff. You're getting all these components that you can craft into bigger and better items and stuff. And yeah, one of the things I really like too is they're called decks,
Mhm.
and it's like you get a certain currency for playing the game, and with this currency you can unlock cosmetics and stuff. And they have different like cosmetic trees where it's kind of like the season pass in Marvel Rivals where you have to buy all of them to unlock the next one.
Yep.
Well, actually, I don't think you have to unlock the next one in the battle pass, but you have to buy all of them to get like the skin or whatever.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like you have to spend a certain amount of the currency to unlock the next level. But right now, I have one where it's like a made up sci-fi fantasy sport where it's like a goalie,
Mhm.
but it's like a mix between baseball and ice hockey because he's got a goalie mask, but you can get a hockey stick and stuff. And I have like a baseball bat backpack now. It's really cool. They have like a new player deck too, where you can get just like it looks like astronaut skins and stuff like that. So very cool way to reward the player without having to actually spend money. The shop is really good because you can get a really cool skin for like $10 instead of spending like 30 or Diablo 4 spend $50 on a skin. Um, but yeah, you don't have to. You can absolutely grind away and earn that currency and unlock some really cool costumes, like really detailed and cool costumes for free.
Cool.
I really appreciate that about the game. It's a great sense of progression in many ways. Like you're just constantly progressing and like, oh, I've upgraded this shopkeeper. Oh, I've got more workbench stuff. Oh, I've upgraded my inventory. Oh, I've literally leveled up so I can upgrade my thing. Oh, I'm getting more skins. Like it's just a constant feedback loop of like actually getting stuff.
Mhm.
And you can focus on so many things. Like you can drop in and you can be like, I'm just gonna hunt the arcs, or I'm gonna do the missions, or I'm gonna fight other players, or I'm just gonna loot stuff and leave. Like there's so many things you can focus on in the game. Man, I can't speak highly enough of Arc Raiders, especially coming off a marathon. I still like Marathon as a game. I still think it's a good game. The shooting in it is just chef's kiss. The FPS, and every time you find a gun, you're like, oh my god, look at this gun! It shoots fucking sunbeams, and like it feels incredible to shoot. Um, but Arc Raiders is just so much better, and all the systems are so well thought out and so interconnected and stuff. It's mind blowing. It's incredible, and it's a lot more friendlier for newer players. Like, I don't know if I would recommend Marathon to someone who's never played an extraction shooter, or to someone who's, maybe newer to video games and stuff. But like Arc Raiders, I feel like I would actually feel comfortable recommending to a newer player.
Mhm.
They're still going to have an adjustment period because you have the weird thing in extraction shooters where they don't tell you what you need in your inventory, but like you need to put health items, ammo, and your guns and like a shield and like a component on there. You need to do that every time.
Mhm.
But they don't really tell you that. They'll just give you like error, inventory not correct, like when you try to start. So it gives you a little bit of indication, but it doesn't tell you like exactly what you need to do.
Mhm.
So there is a little bit of a learning curve, but like once it's pretty easy to figure out. Once you figure that out, you'll be raiding and shooting drones all the live long day. And like I said, all the players are really nice and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders mostly. Also fired up 2 games today just to talk about on the pod, but also I was pretty excited about one of them.
Mhm.
Um, that one being the what is it? I want to get the name right. The Eternal Life of Goldman.
Okay.
Um, this game is absolutely stunningly beautiful. I cannot express in words how gorgeous this game is, and I don't think a screenshot would do it justice either. I think you need to see this game in motion. I think you need to see it on Twitch or play it yourself. There's a free demo out right now, so I played the demo. The game is not out yet, but man, the handcrafted animation that has gone into everything. I mean, literally everything from well, that's just from like you know how you get like hints in games, like it'll be like this is how you do this, like push B. There's like a little ghost guy that pops out of a mirror and then turns into a giant explanation block, and like the animation just for him is so incredible. It's like it's got to be like 30 frames of animation just to get this ghost guy out. And there's so many frames of animation that's I'm wondering if they do use AI or not, because I'm like, this is fucking insane. I don't know how this could be done otherwise. Like this would be so much hand-drawn animation. It would take forever. Everything is constantly moving in the background and the foreground and stuff. Um, I should probably explain what kind of game it is and not just glaze its visuals. It is a platformer, and it plays kind of like Shovel Knight or like DuckTales back in the day, because you are an old man with a cane. So of course you can jump on that cane. You're bouncing on that cane, for sure. Just like Scrooge McDuck or Shovel Knight bouncing on the shovel. But the cool thing is the cane itself can be upgraded and changed. So you get different components for the cane, and you can change it on the fly like really quickly. There's like a handle, a bottom, and like a shaft. And I got a shaft that's like an extra bouncy shaft. It's like the metal one. And you bounce extra high on that. And that's really helpful, right? You would think, why would you ever unequip that, right? Because you can just jump higher. But then I was in a cave where that had spiked ceilings, but you have to jump on enemies' heads. So I had to switch back to the other shaft where you didn't bounce as high, so that I could bounce on the enemies' heads and not hit the spikes on the ceiling. So like really clever usage of the cane mechanics and things. I only got to play 2 levels, which was maybe 45 minutes or so. But yeah, the way they use the cane in that game is really incredible. What I really like too, this is not a spoiler, this happens after the first level, which is also like the intro level. It seems like it's a story being told to a sickly child.
Mm.
It's like a nurse or a mother or something talking to a child, and the child's like really excited to learn about Goldman, and she's like telling him the story, and he's like putting a thermometer in his mouth. You can't actually see this. This is all just audio. So you like he's putting a thermometer in his mouth, so you hear him talk like, ooh, ooh, like he's got a thermometer in his mouth. And so just really cool storytelling just in the voiceover that way, and it makes me really compelled to like, oh, what's going on with this sickly child that's in the hospital? Like, why are they telling him the story? What's the story about? Makes me really intrigued in the world. This game is just I couldn't speak highly enough of it. um Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is the game that I always go to where I'm like, this is the most beautiful platformer. Because if you've ever seen Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, it is a very beautiful game. It plays very well, the platformer. I think this game outdoes it, honestly. I think it really does. It's just an incredible game. Were you pulling it up? I saw you pulling something up.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know if you're
watching
pulling
the
up the game.
animation style is insane, like you were saying. Very, very crisp, very cool looking.
Yeah, it's just insane. And everything's so creative too. Like
Hmm.
all the enemies and stuff are really creative. It's just it's really interesting. So if you get a chance, check out the demo for the Eternal Life of Goldman, and give it a wish list so that it helps the developers out. Because they were asking for wish lists even in the game. They were like, this is important to us. So I will definitely listen because they deserve it. I played another game though, not so handcrafted, not so good to look at. That's gonna be Source of Madness. It's been on my wish list for a long time, and it's on sale for $1 and some change from 20. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Source of Madness is a side-scrolling dark action roguelike set in a twisted Lovecraftian inspired world, powered by procedural generation and AI machine learning. Take on the role of a new acolyte as they embark on a nightmarish odyssey. Um, I don't know where they use AI, but I do know this art style looks like it looks like paper that was like pinned to a board.
Hmm.
And then like the arms and stuff move on the axis. And it doesn't work really well when there's a lot of enemies on screen and stuff. It all kind of jumbles together visually and starts to look samey. So I was kind of put off by that, honestly. Um, Also didn't really get to the roguelike part. I only went on 2 runs, so I'm not really seeing where the loop is yet. You get rings are like your equipable things, and the rings give you magic powers that you can attack with. Um, I will say, out of all the Lovecraftian games I've played, these have definitely been the most nightmarish Lovecraftian creatures I've seen,
Mhm.
though. These have been the most accurate, like, a lot of times Lovecraft in his writing, he'll describe a creature as indescribable or which is a cop out obviously for writing.
Yeah.
He's like, I literally can't even describe it. It's so ridiculous. But a lot of the monsters in this game are indescribable there. So they're just like this amalgus, like arms and feet and hands and tentacles and antenna and shit everywhere and teeth. So they did a really good job of capturing the weirdness that is the Lovecraftian mythos and like those creatures, but the gameplay just didn't feel good. I feel like I felt overpowered too, where I was like smacking the enemies and just like swatting them away. So I don't know. I've got to put more time in this game. I've also put. Let me check the old Steam library. I've put 96 minutes into this game.
Mhm.
So I've got to put a little bit more time in to make a full opinion of it. But yeah, I don't know if it's really vibing with me or not. I did want a new roguelike, so maybe I'll try and get into it. There's a lot of opaque systems as well that I just don't understand yet and are kind of hard to parse through. So I'll have to actually sit down and like look through and read. I also was getting a lot of Dark Souls energy from the equipment and menu system, how they did that. Which is not good because in Dark Souls and Elden Ring and stuff, it takes me a long time to figure those equipment systems out. It takes me hours and hours, but I'm dedicated to it because I love the gameplay so much. I don't know if I'm going to be dedicated enough to learn these menu systems from this game because I don't know if I love the gameplay that much.
Mhm.
But I checked it out nonetheless. So that's all I've been playing. Uh, Definitely check out Eternal Life of Goldman and Arc Raiders is still peak. Not the game peak, but
Yeah.
it is it's peak goodness. So yeah, what have you been playing? Oh, do you have any comments about any of those games?
Goldman, yeah, looks really interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by the art style there. You were questioning the animation style and like any AI. From what I could see on the Steam page, I didn't see anything because I think games on Steam now need to list specifically if they're
Yeah, they have
using.
to.
Yeah, so I didn't see anything there. So it might just, from my little limited knowledge of animation, it just might be a lot of separate elements that are kind of layered on top of each other. Like this was animated separately, this was animated, then kind of put everything there. So yeah,
Yeah, whatever they did, it's magic because
yeah,
it just looks so good. It's just eye candy. Definitely check out that demo if you get a chance because you just for an hour you'll just be smiling like, oh, holy shit, this
yeah.
is I can't believe this exists.
I've been playing two games. One we started on stream yesterday. One I tried a while back, and I think I might have even given it like an honorable mention or a shout during our Game of the Year episode. I can't remember because I did really like the game. The game just didn't like me and didn't run well. But now it's on PlayStation. South of Midnight.
Uh,
I jumped
yeah,
into that. Absolutely loving it. I pretty much played or replayed everything we had 6 months to however long ago that was when I first tried it. Um, but yeah, the combat's very fluid. The combat can be simple at times, but I really enjoy that. But I think where it shines the most is the storytelling, with what Hazel is going through, what she's discovering in this journey to try and save her mom, and the house from the flood that has happened. Um, there's some mysterious elements also of like why Hazel has these powers as a weaver and potentially some family history with it. So I've been really enjoying my time with South of Midnight. I think I'm maybe a third of the way through the game in terms of what the chapter select shows. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to diving more into it. And Compulsion Games knocked it out of the park with the animation style and the music, especially, is another highlight of this game. Just that Louisiana Southern charm, like those vibes. Um, yeah, just Nailhead did a great job with that.
He was my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. And now there's running great. That game looks really good when it's running in full. Like, I don't know if it's 60 FPS that you're getting or not, but it
Sure.
just looks really smooth and clean.
Yeah. And then the only other game I wanted to shout out is one we've actually played together. We did play Slay the Spire 2 together. Jumped into
Oh,
the
yeah.
co-op there. I did play it on my own first, as you recommended, to unlock some of the characters, which thank you for that. Um, Personally, I haven't beat a run yet. I made it really far with the Ironclad. Shocker. I think I made it to Act 2 or the beginning of Act 3 with him. Then there's the... Oh, we always forget her name. What's the Shiv lady? God damn
Oh
it.
my gosh, how can I forget her name again?
Minion. She's great. I
The
really...
silent.
Thank you, the silent, yeah. Similar with her, had a fun time, did not make it as far. And then I did not play a new character of the Regent yet, but I have him unlocked, so I got to get unlocking the other two characters. First off, from a single player standpoint, for the Ironclad and the Silent who are making their return from Slay the Spire 1, I really enjoyed the new cards that they did add for the characters, especially with the Silent. The Silent, I liked her a lot, but she hasn't been one that I've kind of gone to and gravitated towards and like playing Slay the Spire 1 casually, more chasing that like end game stuff. I've been going more the defect, as we've talked about, and Ironclad from time to time. But now she has ability with some of her cards that's called Sly. Is it Sly or Spy? I think it's Sly.
I think it's Sly, yeah.
Okay. Where it's a discard mechanic. So if you discard cards that have this Sly wording on them, you get to play them for free. And I think that was a huge buff and plus for her character. Because, I don't know, for me, there wasn't a lot of reasoning for like why you should discard cards. And maybe this is a me thing, just my play style. I only used that like discard a card if it was like a negative card or something that was kind of taking up fluff space in my hand that I had drawn. But with
Right.
this, you can still be offensive or like defensive, apply negative buffs to the enemy while using the discard mechanic. So I really enjoyed that as part of her mechanic. Ironclad, I don't know if I had any specific card examples or mechanics in comparison, but I feel like I was getting a lot more vulnerability, negative effects towards the enemies that I was affecting, which would then in turn make my attacks more effective and stronger. I think I was building that up easier than comparison to the first one. In terms of an art style, I mean, it is in the like base concept, like it's the same as Slay the Spire 1, but it has a lot of cleaner stuff, refinement, like different colors that kind of gives it that pop of freshness, which I really, really enjoy. And in terms of enemy types, I feel like I haven't seen any returning folks from Slay the Spire 1. So that's been fun to see the new enemy types popping in there, from the general lackeys that you're running into in the normal dungeons to the bosses that you are chasing at the end of the acts. In terms of co-op, works out pretty well. I didn't see any major hiccups. Ran very smoothly. They do push the difficulty if you're playing with multiple people, so your enemies will have more health, so you have to work more effectively together with that. It does require a little bit of a call out in terms of like strategy of when to use your cards when. Each player has their own separate health, their own separate defense, their own separate energy use for cards, but you can play off of each other. So we noticed it a few times with the Ironclad and the vulnerability. I had to be like, whoa, hold on, I can make this guy vulnerable before you attack. We had to kind of call that out. So you can make pretty effective strategies going against the enemies. We did notice that you can't defend each other. You can use your potions on the other players to help them out, make them stronger, whatever your potions do have. But in terms of just like a straight up defense card, you can't do that. So we can't do necessarily a strategy of, okay, I'm just going to be the person throwing defenses on both of us. One person's going to be doing all the offense. You still are playing individually in terms of that, but in the grand scheme of things as a team. If one person does die, that's okay. It comes down to you both as a team. If you both fall, then you fail. We had a few times where you saved us just by skin of your teeth and pulled it out. And then another small fun mechanic is you both can play the same characters. You don't have to play different ones. So if you want to be bold and both play Ironclad like we did, you could do that. I don't know if it's going to be super effective, but you had the options there.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing 2 silent characters and going all poison.
Yeah.
We tried that, and boy howdy did we die. I don't think we made it to the first act boss. I don't
we
think.
did not.
Yeah, I think we died pretty quickly. But yeah, it's cool that you can play as the same character for sure.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on the co-op?
Yeah, it was weird that we couldn't defend each other because there'd be times when it was like a big attack was coming and it was like, well, I've got myself defended, so sucks to suck. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just gonna get smacked. And we'd have to do the math and be like, oh man, I'm not gonna survive this hit with all my shields and stuff, so it's gonna be up to you. So that felt a little weird that you're kind of defending yourself individually, but I think once you get the hang of that and get used to that, it's very fun. I'm actually looking forward to the next time we play. I hope it's sometime soon.
Yeah, and this game's still in early access, so maybe they're still working out kinks here and there, and this is the first time they've had the multiplayer, so maybe it's just some balancing stuff from, moving forward, which I guess they've already adjusted some stuff. I didn't play the first iteration, or like when it first launched, but I heard like they had changed some things and people were like, oh, this is not my strategy, or this, I can't use this card or whatever. It was like, okay. So we'll see. But yeah.
Imagine how crazy it'll be when we're both playing Defect. So that's all I'm trying to say.
All those fucking orbs. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, very nice. So that's going to wrap up what we've been playing. So now it is time to move into the mystery section. I'm not quizzing TJ. He broke my brain enough last week, as you guys probably saw. But I did see a fun social media trend that we're going to be giving our own takes, hot, cold, whatever, on. And it's simply called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 trend. There's various different criteria you can label for each respective number. As I've seen it, like I said, varied, but we're going to go off of this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of gush about some of the games that we really connected with. So it's going to be 5 of our favorite games, 4 games we need to start or finish, 3 games we would recommend, 2 games where we think about the endings often, and 1 game that broke us. Now, TJ, like I said, I gave you a little flexibility. If you wanted to mix that up at all towards the 2-1 area, that's fine. Just kind of let everybody know like what your title, I guess, is for the section.
Oh no, I did it that way as well.
You
so
did,
we're
okay.
both consistent.
All right, cool. TJ, would you like to alternate 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, or do you think we should go through our entire list?
Oh, I think we should alternate for sure. I think it would keep it more interesting.
All right, TJ, why don't you kick us off with your 5 favorite games? And I guess I could ask this prerequisite question too. Was this easy for you to do, or did you find this task a little difficult?
Well, I opened up my favorites folder in Steam and I started picking games. But I will say I had to add a Switch game in there. And additionally, these are some lukewarm takes. My favorite games, just like my favorite movies, it's always a constant revolving door. Constantly changing. So this is subject to change. By the time you watch this episode, it will be different.
Yeah, I feel like that's the danger with a lot of these is it's very gut reaction-y. Because, even with my list, it was like, oh, I didn't put that one. Oh, I didn't put this. Or like I think the only one I was struggling with was the endings one. And not in a bad way of like I haven't enjoyed the endings, but I was trying to think of like really strong endings that made me think instead of just like, that was a great experience type of thing. But there was a few times I'm like, nope, can't put that. Or, oh, I should have put that. And flip-flopped a little bit. So yeah, if, like you said, I'm sure if you ask us in a month, some of this would be different because there's so much good shit out there and things we either
Yeah.
like or would recommend to people. All right, so enough of the BSing. What do we got for your 5 favorites?
Sure. I feel like 2 of these are fixed points that won't change, but
Sure.
yeah, we'll see. Number 1, to everyone's surprise, is Elden Ring. I'm gonna recommend Elden Ring is one of my favorite games. Number 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put that in there with the caveat that you gotta get the DLC because
Okay.
if you're not playing Sephiroth, are you really playing the game? RE4 remake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually put remake up there. And a lot of people like the original RE4 more than remake. I've really come to love that remake game. It's something about it. I just love the mercenaries mode, everything about it. I don't have to give a review and defend
Oh,
myself.
you
I just
can.
really like
You
RE4
expand
remake.
on whatever you want to expand on.
Yeah, yeah, the separate ways DLC and the mercenaries mode, and then the campaign being infinitely replayable. That game is just like it's like going into an arcade or going to an amusement park. It's just fun every time. It's
Mhm.
just great. It's a great time. Um, Midnight Suns is gonna be on there for sure. I love that game. It's highly, highly, highly underrated. Definitely needs more love. Even if the PC version is a little buggy. And then Enter the Gungeon is gonna be my number 5,
Oh,
my
yep.
indie game. Love that game. Still never gotten past the 4th floor, I think, the 3rd floor. Doesn't matter to me. I still love the game. I will continue. I will be 80 years old trying to be Enter the Gungeon. Not Enter the Gungeon 2. Get those 3D graphics out of here. I just want to play Enter the Gungeon 1 for forever and keep going on and on. Those are my top 5. What do you got for me?
Excellent. So for my top 5 favorites, I had Kingdom Hearts. I had a tough time figuring out which one I was gonna pick. I went 2 originally, but no, I gotta go with the OG because obviously that's where it started. Is the combat always the greatest in that one? No. But there's a lot of nostalgia there, and we joked about it. Kingdom Hearts, while the story is a little convoluted, it also isn't. One is definitely more of a clear this is a story until you add the fucking oh, of course I'm forgetting all their names, something 13 whatever, and the nobodies and all that jazz. So Kingdom Hearts. Next one I want to give a shout, and I don't think I've talked about this one much on the podcast, but I absolutely love, is Neon White. Neon White
Okay.
is a fast-paced speed running platforming game. It's got some funny anime characters and story that's going along. But yeah, it's one of those where it's just all time trials. Try and platform, defeat enemies with your cards in your hand that you have that are different guns and different abilities, and beat it in a certain time. And then on top of that, you can challenge your friends because there's a little leaderboard. So you're like, oh, Joe here's beat it in 29 seconds. Well, I'm going to beat that in 27, you son of a gun. And you can go back and forth with that. Absolutely love Neon White. Next one for me is Arkham Asylum.
Oh, nice.
Another one I was debating which Arkham game to put because I do love all 4 of them. Yes, we're going to put respect on Origins here. I love all 4 of them. I think the reason I put Asylum in here, yes, it's the first as well, so it gets the ball rolling. As someone who doesn't like horror, I am really intrigued and enjoy the more horrified aspects of Asylum that it has to offer. The Killer Croc lair section always scares the shit out of me. The Scarecrow, where you have the hallucinations and you got to go into the morgue with the body bags. I'm always like, I don't want to open you. Go from there. Really enjoyed that, and that game kind of opened the Batman Rogues Gallery to me. I learned so much from that game, whether it was the interview tapes or just the dossier type files that you would find. Absolutely loved it.
And you're selling that game, you're making me want to go back and replay it. And I don't want to interrupt your list,
You're
but
good.
you're talking about Arkham Asylum. I feel like I should have put some older games on my list. I
Oh,
feel like I did just open my Steam library and just pick some games. But yeah, Arkham Asylum is a special game for me because I had a gaming laptop, or not a gaming laptop. I had a laptop that I tried to play games on and it could not really play anything, but it could play Arkham Asylum. And so I played the absolute shit out of that game on that laptop. And when I finally bought a gaming PC. Oh, 10 years later,
Hmm.
9 years later, I still had that game in my Steam library. That was, and which was one of the reasons that I love Steam, because I was like, oh, I just automatically have Arkham Asylum because I paid for it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I booted up that game again, and I had just as much fun
Nice.
as I did 10 years prior, because that game holds up. That game is incredible. It launched a whole franchise for a reason, because it is just absolutely, it's insanely good. A lot of people will put Arkham City as their favorite one, but Arkham Asylum, I think, is the better game.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I had a tough time picking between them because, yeah, City's great. Knight, I know people don't like the tank, but I still love Knight. Knight's amazing. But yeah, Asylum, I had to give a shout. And this was another one where it's like, I was late to the party with it, but it was another one where, like, I didn't know anything about it until I had it and just took a whim on it. And I was like, wow, this
Hmm.
is great. So I had that Game of the Year edition that had like some extra stuff
Oh,
and Joker
nice.
DLC. And the thing too is it came with 3D glasses. I remember playing with those. I'm like, oh, this is so much worse in terms of spooks. I'm like, ah! But yeah, absolutely loved it. Um, Next one for me is a little sports game called Tony Hawk American Wasteland. Um,
Mm,
I loved playing Pro Skater 2, as we've talked about before, with friends at their houses, but American Wasteland was like the first one I owned, and I just love the story of American Wasteland. It's a bunch of misfits. You're living in pretty much like a dump, and to save the main guy from jail, you try and bail him out by making a skate park and building it. And in order to do that, you're just stealing a bunch of shit from LA and like making like a
yeah.
theme park type skate park. Absolutely love it. Had a great time with it. This is the remaster of remasters that I would die for. And it's probably never gonna happen. So it's just like, I gotta live in the past. And then the last one I put down because it gave me such a rush from stream of like a moment, and that's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I
Okay.
love the story with Cal Kestis. He's amazing. But towards the end of that game, this isn't a spoiler in terms of like a big story point. You get to finally craft your own lightsaber. And I remember that moment like, oh, this is like euphoria overcame me of like, yes. Like you could pick your color, you could pick all these different customizations and things. And I was just like, this is awesome. And as soon as he pops that blade and you're out there the first time using it, I'm like, I feel so amazing right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so love Fallen Order. I love oh shit, what was the second one?
Jedi Survivor.
Thank you. Love that one too. Just fantastic games with great story. So yeah, I want to give that a shout as well.
I have them both, and I have not. I haven't even played the second one, and I haven't beaten the first
I
one.
know. I remember you're like, oh, maybe I should jump into Survivor. I'm like, bitch, you haven't even finished Fallen Order. All right, TJ, moving on to number 4. 4, you need to start or finish.
Jedi Survivor. No, I'm kidding. This actually was a difficult one because as I opened my Steam library to do the favorites, I did the same thing for this, and I was like, wow, this is about 90% of the games that I've ever
Sure.
played. I need to finish because I have a really bad habit of starting games and not finishing them. I
Same.
just play them for a little bit. Um, but these are the ones that I really would like to finish the most that nag at me. That's going to be Persona 5.
Mm.
Uh, for sure, Persona 5. I need to finish that game. I just, again, whenever I find a spare 80 hours laying around, I will jump on that bad boy. But it's so good. The story, the visuals and effects, the gameplay is really incredible. I love what they did with the dungeon system. It's actually fun this time. So I love Persona 5. I just haven't finished it. In the JRPG genre as well, Clair Obscur.
Mm.
Really need to finish Clair Obscur. I think I keep talking about this podcast. I refuse to admit that I've stopped playing that game because I still have it downloaded on my PC and I just stare at it sometimes and I go, "Oh, I'm playing this game.
Yeah.
I'll I'll pick it up anytime. Next time I feel like playing a JRPG, I'm gonna pick up Clair Obscur. And then I'm just never in the mood for a JRPG, so it hasn't happened yet, but
Hmm.
it's gonna happen sometime soon. I need to finish that game for sure. Next game on the list is Rise of the Ronin.
Ooh, okay.
Really enjoyed this game. It's very fun. The combat's incredible, like unbelievably incredible. The character creation stuff is great. I love my little. I've got a guy with like a balding ponytail, like Japanese thing because I'm balding, so it works out. It's cool, and I got dual samurai swords. Anytime I can have two katanas, very impractical in real life, but that's cool. And then you can just hot swap to an adachi, which is the giant like bastard sword katana,
Oh, okay.
and just being able to do. I love dual katanas and I love adachi, but you put both those things together and it's peanut butter and chocolate. Or so I've been told. I'm allergic to peanut butter. I don't know, but I've been told those two things are good together. So um, that's what that gameplay is like. I really need to finish it. The reason I haven't finished that game is because there are a lot of boss fights that are like choke points in the game
Ah.
where it really will use your nuts as a speed bag, just destroy you. And so there have been points where I've literally hit the wall with some bosses for like 4 or 5 hours. And that's not always what I want to do with my time. So maybe I need to get good or level up in different levels. But I feel like I always went into those missions like 2 or 3 levels above
Hmm.
and still was really struggling. You just have to learn the mechanics and you have to be really good at this. There's parrying, but then there's like this super parrying move, and you have to be really good at the super parrying move to play that game. And the timing is pretty tight.
Hmm.
You gotta be really good at it. So I was getting better as the game progressed. I was shortening those boss fights, but yeah, a lot of choke points that prevented me from playing the game. Because a lot of times when I'm playing a video game, I'm just like, I want the least amount of friction between me and the fun. And I feel like those boss fights were adding a lot of friction between me and having the fun that I wanted to have.
Gotcha.
Great game though, highly recommend it. Next game I have a lot less to say about, but it's just Remnant from the Ashes.
Hmm.
I would like to play Remnant 2, please. Please let me play Remnant 2, but I can't because I haven't played Remnant 1, so my brain will not let me play Remnant 2 because it's like you have Remnant 1 we have Remnant at home.
Yeah.
And that's Remnant from the Ashes. I enjoyed this game. The thing that prevented me from finishing this game is the level layout and the layout of the base. And I hear it's just as bad in Remnant 2. I know it sounds like a weird thing to complain about, like the layout, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? And that's not fun for me. But the combat and the levels that you're going through are so much fun. Oh my gosh. The combat is incredible. The boss fights are really fun. The guns feel really punchy. It's like a third person shooter Dark Souls. And if that sounds weird, it's because it is. But
Hmm.
somehow it works. If you wanted a Gears of War Dark Souls, we got it. It's very fun. So definitely want to finish that game and try out the sequel. What about you? What games do you want to finish?
Oh, was that four? Damn.
That was
Um,
for you.
so on my four, I need to start or finish. Coming in number one, Horizon Forbidden West.
Hmm.
Absolutely love Zero Dawn. I golden path the shit out of Zero Dawn so much. I went into the final boss with the basic bow and arrow from the beginning of the game. Let me tell you, that boss fight took a while, but I beat it. I was so hyped for Forbidden West coming out, just the new environments, the new dino monster robot things, leading up to it with trailers and whatnot. Played it the day it came out. I even streamed it, and I didn't touch it since. I don't know why. The game looks stunning. Aloy's story and her discovery of what's going on is really intriguing. I think it was just one of those times where I was like, I don't want an open world right now. I don't want to deal with that. I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't gone to it since, and it's been a few years since that game's gone out, and I'm like, what are you doing? So, oof, there. One that I have tried a few times and for some reason keep jumping off of, whether it is the original or the remake I'm going to talk about right now, it is Final Fantasy VII. I just want to be part of the ecosystem with everybody else and be part of this excitement. And I like Cloud. I like Sephiroth, even though it's mainly for his music and running his shit scared in Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. But you know, like I like a lot of these characters, and I've really enjoyed Remake for what it has to offer. But for some reason, I just keep jumping out of that, and then even the original, I made pretty good progress for me, and I just was like, scoop, on to the next thing. So I wanted to include that one.
Absolutely.
Next one I'm going to include is a space bullet hell shooter. Another one I absolutely loved, in Returnal. Roguelike, bullet hell. You're just going with, what's her name? I don't remember. But crash on a space planet, and you start finding echoes of your past selves, and you're starting to go mad with the loop that you're dealing with and thinking about the past on Earth and what's going on here and surviving on this planet. It's another one where the story really is good and the gameplay is solid, and I do pretty well at, surprisingly. But for some reason, I just haven't seen it all the way to the end. I think I've beaten the first 2 Acts bosses and have gotten to Act 3, which I think is actually the last one, but I could be wrong. So it's like, you're right there. Why didn't you just go hit a touchdown, you know? Just finish the game. So I want to get back into that. And with Soros coming out soon, that's similar in gameplay. I don't know if they're connected. Don't think they are, but it's the same studio of Housemarque. So they make some good stuff over there. And then last one, I know I've poured my heart about this game multiple times, is Chicory. Absolutely love Chicory, but I've never finished Chicory. I need to go do that. It's a beautiful game. I need to face my fears and feel some emotions. So Chicory is my last one there. All right, TJ, what are 3 games that you would recommend?
Well, I feel like one of these doesn't really need much of my recommendation. It had one of the biggest marketing budgets of all time in gaming, and that would be Cyberpunk 2077. Everybody knows what Cyberpunk is. Everybody knows, how it is, but just like, I don't know, playing that game, I just always recommend it to people because if you can get sucked in, if you can actually start doing the scanner missions and stuff, you can lose hundreds of hours. I just keep going into Cyberpunk and making new builds because the gameplay feels so good. It's the best first-person melee combat in any video game, and it's in an RPG. That's fucking insane. Because you can block bullets with the katana and then you like dash up to him. It's you could the throwing knife, you get like it's a really tiny dot, so you got to be really good. I feel like you would love that because you love your headshots. But nailing the headshots and then you get the knife back. It's so cool. There's so many good things about Cyberpunk 2077. I feel like there's a variety of things to do, so a lot of different people would like Cyberpunk 2077 for a lot of different reasons. And I also love the soundtrack, so you can just drive around and listen to the music, and it's pretty cool. So, except for that one grime song, because it's kind of annoying, but it's okay. Another game I would recommend, absolutely, this one does need a little bit of recommendation and preface, and that is Wargroove 2. Wargroove 2 is the sequel to Wargroove, obviously, but it is a game that plays like Advance Wars. However, they took the Advance Wars formula and they blew it up. They added different races of and different like classes of enemy types and stuff, and like people you can play as. You can play as these different races, and they have like they're symmetrical, right? Like symmetrical units. It's like one of them might be like a fairy race, and they have like the spirit like a forest spirit guys with spears, and then the other one are like humans, and they have humans with spears. So it's like they're symmetrical in a way, but then they also have specialty units and stuff mixed in, and it's really cool. There's land, air, and sea units, just like in Advance Wars, and there's so much content in this game. Like, if you find yourself liking this game, you could spend hundreds of hours into it because you can create your own maps, which is incredible, and then you can download the maps of other people that other people have created. There's like I think 3 campaigns or more because there's campaigns for each different of the races that they have. I think there's like 5 races or something like that you can play. there's another mode too. Like there's a different mode besides just the creating and the campaign. I forget what it's called, but it's just like a skirmish mode that you can make. You can make your own game modes. You can do a whole lot with this game, and it is a blast. And it's pretty challenging for a turn-based game. So if you like a good challenge, the campaigns are really fun. Like you're not gonna blow through them. You're gonna have to sit down and really think and really try them over and over again to get the best and most efficient playthrough. Um, Really fun, and the storyline's pretty good too. They also added a rat race, which I really enjoy. They're like little Egyptian rats, and it's a lot cooler and cuter than it sounds. They're definitely not like the Skaven from Warhammer Fantasy. If anybody knows what that is, they're more like cute little adorable Disney rats. It's fantastic. So love Wargroove 2. Definitely want to recommend that I would recommend that to anybody because like I said, you could lose hundreds of hours into it, and it's pretty cheap for being an indie game. You know, I think it's like $30, $25, something like that. And then the last game is a game we both share our love of, but I will always recommend this to people, and that is Mortal Kombat XL. Yeah, if anybody wants to play a game, like have you played Mortal Kombat XL? Have you really played it? And I include the XL because you get to play as the alien and Predator in that game, and that's fucking sick. It's so cool that you can play as alien and Predator in that game. They've had a lot of Mortal Kombat has had a lot of guest appearances in their time, but XL has the best ones for sure. And not only are the guest appearances great, but the three variations in each fighter means that you can play this game for a long time and continue to discover more combos, continue to discover more moves to do. And if you're playing with a friend, you could just be like, I'm tired that you're always playing as Kenshi. Well, it's like, well, I'm going to play as Kenshi this version now. And now it just completely fucks him up. It mixes things up. Actually, Kenshi's not even in Mortal Kombat XL now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Because he's dead. Is he in?
he's in it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, you know, you just play as different variations and stuff and mix it up. So if you have a favorite character, you get three of them. Not to mention there's Triborg, which is really cool. A lot of people were mad because you didn't get the actual ninja robots in there, but Triborg is a good like half solution. I feel like he
And you got
works.
4 robots, so it's not even a try. It's a quad.
Yeah, true. It's a quad bot. But yeah, it's my favorite fighting game of all time. And if anybody wants to, well, maybe it's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. But I definitely would recommend that to people because it's very accessible, but also very deep if you get into it. Also, this version of Mortal Kombat stuff, you have the story mode, you have the crypt and stuff like that, you have the towers. So even if somebody's not a fighting game pro, they can still get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of Mortal Kombat XL.
Definitely. Oh, that made my heart so happy you said that one. Just all the memories flooding back in of you and I that one time I visited down there getting that and then spending hours on hours playing it.
Yeah.
Ah, wow. Yeah, great time. Great times.
Mm.
All right, 3 I would recommend. Hey, howdy, hey, shocker, shocker. Have you heard of this game called Blueprints? Well, if you haven't been listening to this episode or this podcast long enough. I can't recommend Blueprints enough. If you like puzzle games, if you like roguelikes, if you like scratching your head and being like, what the fuck is going on? This game is for you. I can't recommend this enough. You've heard me gush about it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. The next one is a fun multiplayer game. Couldn't pick one or two because they're both fantastic, so I'm going to pick Overcooked All You Can Eat, which is both of the games. You get everything. Overcooked is a lot of fun. Playing it solo's okay. You certainly can. You got to kind of be a little bit more, not too brained, but you got to kind of split your priorities up, be a little bit more coordinated. But the magic of this game is when you play with friends and family, where you're just shouting at each other in the kindest way possible, obviously. But you're like, I need more onions. I need this delivered. Ah, shit, I dropped this. I need this. So much fun. So many laughs to be had. Absolutely love the Overcooked games. Will they make a third one someday? Maybe, but I think Team 17 and Ghost Town, I don't remember. I think they're working on other projects. So, but good times with Overcooked. All You Can Eat, like I said, will get you both games as well as their DLC. And last one, it's a trifecta of indie games. I'd like to shout out Unpacking. Unpacking is a beautiful game. Very simple concept. You're unpacking boxes. Yes, I know that doesn't sound fun when I just tell you, hey, unpack this shit. But it's a beautiful puzzle game. You're just organizing these rooms, this house, as you're progressing along in these different levels, unpacking these boxes and figuring out where everything goes. That's the one layer of it. The second layer of it is the story that is told without being directly pushed down your throat. There is a narrative that is happening as you're going from level to level that you can pick up on, and you can learn about this main character's life and struggles that she is going through. It's a shorter game, but highly recommend unpacking if you need something to chill, if you like puzzle games, and you want to kind of go a little bit nostalgia in terms of like, oh, I remember this thing, because there's a lot of like references to old games, toys, collectibles, stuff like that for like our generation, I feel. So, yeah, those are my 3 that I recommend. Nice. TJ, 2 endings that you think about.
Well, I feel like this first one is just cheating because it's just like so obvious on the nose. As soon as I heard it, I was like, well, obviously this game. And that's going to be The Last of Us. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much. Actually, you know what? Minor spoilers. We're going to put up the minor spoilers.
Skip 30 seconds or a minute.
Yeah, skip 30 seconds. Minor spoilers for The Last of Us. The game's been out for a long time, so we can do this. I just want to say that coming down to the human question of, there's 2 buses. One bus is full of 50 people, but you don't know any of them and they're strangers, and the other bus is full with one person that you love. Which bus do you blow up? You know what I mean? And a lot of people are going to blow up the bus full of 50 people that they don't know. That's pretty much what the ending of this game is. It's like, do you destroy everybody or do you save the one person you love? And I love that it's that philosophical question. And it really fucks me up that he chose the wrong answer, like the selfish answer, not necessarily the wrong answer, but it's an answer that I feel like a lot of people would pick. And it would be hard not to in the end of the day. Like, how are you going to be like, I'm going to kill my daughter figure and my friend and this person that I love? Just beautiful. Chef's kiss. Well done. I think about it often. I was so glad when the HBO series actually had the gumption to stick to that. I thought that was great. I know Neil Druckmann was like personally involved, so that makes sense. But yeah, The Last of Us ending will stick with me till the day I die. I will always think about that, how incredible that was. Because not only was it that philosophical moral question, but it was like you got to see that relationship build for 40 hours or however fucking long that game is. And then you have that philosophical question. You're like, oh, I understand now. Yeah. I get it. I understand you, Joel, but also fuck you. Yeah. But I get it. So it's just great. And the magic of video games is it puts you in that shoes. You're the one that has to pull the trigger and shoot the doctor. I remember sitting on that screen for a long time where it's like you have to pull the trigger, and I'm like, but no, I don't want to do this. But also I was like, but he has to. It completes his character arc. It's just fantastic. Last of Us, definitely. And another game that's going to stick with me, the ending, for a very different reason, and that is Baldur's Gate 3. The ending of Baldur's Gate 3. Stick with me for 2 reasons. One, in the beginning of the game, you create 2 characters, not just one. You create your player character, and you create this other character that visits you at night. Now, I'm not going to spoil Baldur's Gate 3 because it hasn't been out as long. I'm just going to say there is a twist with that one character that you create. And I was like, that's pretty cool. You learn that twist in the second act, maybe like halfway through the second act. And I'm like, that's really cool. And then in the third act, there's a second twist with that character. There's a twist on a twist. And it blew my fucking mind. It was so cool. The second twist is really incredible. I wish I could spoil it, but I just cannot. It's just so unbelievably cool. But also, the reason that the ending of Baldur's Gate 3 was stuck with me is because I have played that game for, I'm going to do the Steam thing. Let me pull it up. I've played Baldur's Gate 3 for 320 hours. I've beaten it precisely 1 time. And the reason I've beaten it 1 time is because the ending of Baldur's Gate 3 is so fucking hard. The final boss fight in that game is absolutely insane. Now, maybe I am just not that good at these games. Also, I have to preface this for any Baldur's Gate heads out there listening. I know I didn't have a fucking wizard in my class, so I couldn't just sneak my party past everybody, okay? So no wizards involved. It made it much harder. When I was looking up how to, because eventually I got to a point, I hit a wall. I was trying so many times to beat this final boss. And it's one of those things where it's like, you play for like 20 minutes and then die. So it wasn't like a quick
Yeah.
reset with the boss. It's like I'm trying every time and then dying with like on the skin of my teeth. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So eventually I did look up how to beat this final boss, and they were like, yeah, just use your wizard. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't used my wizard since Act 1, so I'm screwed.
Well, he do blow up, so I don't get it. All right, I understand.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can also, that's also an option, by the way. No spoilers, but you can make them blow up if you want. That'll fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's very difficult. It's brutally difficult. But man, when I did it, when I finally beat the final boss the right way, no save scumming, no cheats, no wizardry. I just straight up with a bard, okay, with a bard class, with my little fucking loot, I went up there and I beat this goddamn giant thing. And there's a dragon involved, and there's like so many enemies. It's like they throw like 6 enemies at you at one time, and there's a time limit, and there's a other thing going on. It's like, oh my gosh. Do you know the spell Magic Missile?
Yeah.
Magic Missile never misses.
Mhm.
Is the beauty of Magic Missile. Well, there's a like 6 high level Sonic characters that have the highest level Magic Missile and will shoot it at all your characters. And you cannot dodge it. So you just fucking eat these Magic Missiles for every turn. That's like one of the 15 things they're throwing at you.
Right.
It's fucking insane. So that game ending will always stick with me for the gameplay alone. I plan and hope to beat Baldur's Gate 3 again someday, hopefully on a higher difficulty. Like I said, a lot of people who are playing this are like, oh, I've beaten it on what I forget the higher difficulty tiers, but like I've beaten it on hard or whatever, and you're complaining about beating it on normal, and it's like, yeah, it was hard for me, so that's where I'm at. And again, I was using a fucking gnome bard, so it was he could only do so much. I was
Mhm.
really relying on my companion characters in that one, and the bear. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, incredible ending. So I ranted about it for so long.
Yeah.
What is your for endings?
Appreciate you shouting out Last of Us Part 1. I'd like to shout out, this wasn't even part of my 2, so I'm not going to even like give it a big thing. But Last of Us Part 2, that one sticks with me.
Mm.
Okay, anyways, for my official entries that I put, stop subbing things in, Brett. Far Cry 5 is an ending I think about often just because yes, I did play it recently. But man, oh man. Oof, just what happens with Joseph Seed, the main baddie, and your protagonists and your ragtag group of friends. It just makes you think like, oh wow, we were so focused on one thing that we didn't focus on the bigger picture, and this is what happened because of it. The payoff or the follow-up on Far Cry New Dawn, is it the best? No. But if you take that and the ecosystem by itself, that's one personally I know that I'll be thinking about. I know it's not everybody's favorite, and some people didn't like that, how it ended, and that's fine. For me, I'm like,
Right.
yep, this clicks. I really enjoyed it. I love the twist on it. Love it. Chef's kiss there. And a similar one, and I got reminded about this game from our cousin Brendan recently, but I want to give a shout out to Halo Reach and the ending of Halo Reach. For those of you guys who don't know what Halo Reach is, this is not John Halo, Master Chief. This is a ragtag group of other Spartans that are running around and taking care of the, what are they called? Whatever the aliens are. It's not the Flood, that's the other ones, but doesn't matter. You're taking care of these guys, fighting, and throughout your journey, this group just kind of gets punched after punched after punched of different ragtag members of the group just kind of taking hits and whatnot. And when you reach the ending, I'm going to spoil it, so skip 30 seconds if you care. It's just a firefight. You are on your own and you are just laying in gunfire trying to survive. And the ending is when you die. It's literally your character's final stand, your death. And I remember this happening and just being like, oh my God, this is insane. And just how heartbreaking it is, because you build these bonds with these characters of this squad that you've gone through. And to see that this is how they end up, it's just like, damn. but
Oh wow.
very,
They
very
really
good.
pulled a Rogue One there, huh?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Wow. Well, they did it before Rogue One, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, moving on to the big number one. TJ, what is one game that broke you?
This might not be a sexy or exciting answer or pick, but it is Elden Ring Night Rain.
Mm.
This game absolutely broke me because I have again 815.6 hours into Elden Ring. I'm gonna count that point 0.6 hours. Um, and so I have a lot of Elden Ring knowledge. I'm like, oh, I go here to get this item. I go here to get this item. I know how to deal with these enemies. I know how to deal with this boss. I know these boss patterns. I go into Elden Ring Night Rain. None of that shit fucking matters. The rules are made up, and who cares anyway? The points are made up. None of that is relevant at all, and it broke my brain that I was playing Elden Ring with the same combat, but like not able to actually do so efficiently. It absolutely broke me. I ended up stop playing the game because I was not enjoying myself so much. Now that was at launch, so I did buy the game at launch because, of course, the game with the title Elden Ring, I'm gonna buy it at launch.
Yeah.
But so they have made a lot of patches for solo players because I was playing solo and having a very hard time. But they have patched in some help for the solo players, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, the character classes also kind of broke me a little bit because I just didn't. I don't know that I like that there's like characters that are also classes instead of just like a generic class.
Yeah.
But it is a different style game, so I understand. So
Mm-hmm.
that game absolutely broke me just in my brain and how it works because I was just like I don't understand how this works and I don't understand how I don't understand.
Yeah.
So I will have to definitely give the maybe I should slide this up to slot number 4 where 4 games you need to finish or start. Maybe I need to put that in there. Although I don't think you can finish this game because it's a multiplayer game and you just kind of go on runs.
Yeah.
But I would like to give it a shot at least to try it again more.
Mm-hmm.
But it did break me when I played it. What about you?
Well, interesting. We took the sentence or sentiment of broke me very differently. So you went more of the rage inducing or something that didn't click with you. I went more of the emotional standpoint. So
Hmm.
my game, and I think I've shouted out here before, that broke me emotionally is Spiritfarer.
Ah,
Spiritfarer, absolutely beautiful game. It's about the afterlife. It's about you becoming kind of that Charon type character, leading these spirits and entities, kind of cleaning up like final wishes and then moving them on to the afterlife. Beautiful game, management style game. So if you like your Stardew's, your farming stuff, kind of aspects of that of resource collecting and building, upgrading your ship and whatnot. There's not much of a rush in terms of what you need to do. You can play at your own pace. But overall, the story is beautiful with these characters. There is one, and I'm not going to get into spoilers like I didn't in a previous episode. There was one individual character. So if you've played this game, you probably know. There's one specific character and their departure and how it happens and what transpires that hit me so hard that I literally had to stop and just cry it out for a few minutes because of how it affected me.
mm,
Beautiful that games can do this, can make you resonate with characters and build these relationships. And yeah, Spiritfarer is absolutely beautiful. I'm very glad that I tried that out. Shout out to Jeff Reg for showing me it and, sharing that with me because I don't know if I would have played it otherwise. So yeah, that is my one that broke me. All right, so TJ, would you like to run through your list one more time? Just kind of bullet point of each of the sections and titles one more time for the audience.
yeah, my 5 favorite games were Elden Ring, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, RE4 Remake, Midnight Suns, and Enter the Gungeon. The 4 games I need to finish are Start or is Persona 5, Clair Obscur, Rise of the Ronin, and Remnant from the Ashes. The 3 games I always recommend is Cyberpunk 2077, Wargroove 2, and Mortal Kombat XL. The 2 endings I think about regularly are The Last of Us and Baldur's Gate 3, and the 1 game that broke me is Elden Ring Night Rain.
Thank you, sir. For myself, number 5 favorites, we had Kingdom Hearts, Neon White, Batman Arkham Asylum, Tony Hawk American Wasteland, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. 4 that I need to start or finish, Horizon Forbidden West, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Chicory, and Returnal. 3 I would recommend are Blueprints, Overcooked All You Can Eat, and Unpacking. 2 endings I think about often are Far Cry 5 and Halo Reach, and 1 game that broke me is Spiritfarer. So everybody, that is our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 trend. If you guys would like to share yours in the comment section down below, we'd love to hear what games affected you and maybe get some more stuff on our radar that we haven't noticed or played. And yeah, just appreciate you guys' time hanging with us for those games. So we got one more section. Let's talk about what we're looking forward to in the future, whether it's something in our backlog, a new title that's coming out, whatever it may be. TJ, what are you looking forward to playing next?
I'm looking forward to playing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2.
Yeah.
I played the first Hot Wheels Unleashed a little bit on Xbox Game Pass. I have the second one because it was on sale for like $5 or something like a couple months ago. I've just been needing to get into a racing game, and these games are very fun. They're actually really good, solid racing games. I don't like the predatory aspect of how much they are monetized. Trying to sell you different cars and skins and things like that. And you don't actually unlock cars, you unlock car packs. And then you get fucking random cars in the car packs. So not a big fan of that. But the racing mechanics is very tight in the game. And I just haven't tried the second one yet. So I'm excited to see how they've improved those mechanics and see if it's still as predatory in the monetization aspect.
Sure. Nice. Yeah, I think I have one of those titles. It was like a free PlayStation Plus monthly game. So I think I have one of those in my library, but I've never tried it. One I'm going to shout, and it's kind of a cheat because I've already beaten it and played it all the way through, but as a replay that I'd like to do is Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. I keep seeing this Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, and I'm like, God damn it. So I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind thwipping around, kicking some ass, unlocking some spider suits with both Peter and Miles. So yeah, eventually I'd like to replay that. Maybe some point leading up to Wolverine in September, but we shall see.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today, giving this a watch, giving us a listen. If you did enjoy what you heard, make sure you guys drop a follow or like wherever you are listening to this, whether it's YouTube or Spotify. If you have something that you'd like us to talk about in a future episode, please feel free to let it or put it down in the comment section down below, and we'll get to it at a future episode and chat about it. And then, yeah, last but not least, obviously, if you like what you heard, share it with somebody else you think might like it. Sometimes that's the best way podcasts are kind of spread, is just word of mouth. So anything you could do to help us out, we greatly appreciate it. We appreciate your time. TJ, thanks for hanging out. Good sir. Appreciate all the good conversation points with you today.
Always. And I can't wait to play Spire II with you again.
Hell yeah. Thanks for watching, giving this a listen, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.